And howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel, and welcome back to Stargate Outpost.
Yep.
How are you doing this fine Wednesday, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. So
Good. Good. We got something interesting today. I don't know if the Stargate community typically finds it interesting, but we dove back in to Stargate Origins, the film version of the web series put together in Stargate Origins Catherine. And my initial thoughts, I guess, going in were, I'd seen it once before a long time ago, and then it was alongside watching all of the other Stargate things. So it didn't come off as a very great project at the time necessarily.
Right.
The expectations were low going into it again this time. But I came out on a surprising high note. What were your thoughts, I guess, before you went into it, watching it, and after it?
I had pretty low expectations because I've heard, lots of people saying like, "Oh, it's terrible, it sucks."
Had you ever seen it before?
No, I have not seen it until last night when I watched it, and then I did like rewatched like half of it this morning. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, it was in a way what I kind of expected, kind of low budgety, made for TV movie kind of thing. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, there's some questionable things, but I think overall, it's all right. It's okay. It's a Stargate story.
If so, the one thing that I was thinking about, because I watched it with my roommate yesterday, I was thinking about a lot of things, but one of the prevailing thoughts, I guess, was if someone's never seen anything Stargate, of course, canonically, if this is canon, it takes place in the earliest point of what we could watch in the Stargate universe until we get some Agents prequels or something like that down the road,
Yeah.
And my roommate had never seen anything Stargate. So it wasn't really that bad of an intro into the franchise in that sense. It's almost a tease of the prevailing themes for the show. It's the themes of Stargate from the film, I guess, and the TV shows. It's not a bad entry point. Would you think? So obviously, an adult is a whole different thing coming from here. But if you go in with the expectation saying, "Hey, this is more for a made-for-teen thing," which is kind of how I presented it to my roommate, it's not going to be the greatest thing in the world.
Right.
We ended up liking it a lot more than expected.
Yeah, I mean, the comedy in it was a little questionable sometimes.
Yes.
They were trying to make it funny and then super serious. I don't know. Now I lost track of what I was saying.
Anyway. Started thinking about all the bad jokes.
Oh, if it's a good early entry. I think it's fine. It's just because everybody, well, I guess we're just going to go with saying spoilers. We're going to assume everyone's seen it. If you haven't, sorry. But
there we go.
At the, even though it almost in a way kind of, it's an interesting story and it's kind of a cool thing, but since they all forget it, it kind of doesn't mean anything. Except for that little thing where now Daniel can't find the seventh symbol. But that's what I mean. It was an interesting introduction. I mean, I guess the only thing we see before that, and I think they just pulled a clip straight from the movie, right? The 1928 when they discover the gate. I think that was straight from the movie, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I mean, there is a big, gap of space there because we just see like, okay, 1928, it was unburied. Now we have this story. And then, of course, we have from SG-1, where in the 50s or whatever they were doing testing on it and had figured it out. And I wanted to watch The Torment of Tantalus again, but I just didn't have time just to see how that fits in with this, because it's Catherine again, but she's a little older. In 1969 we get a Catherine again too, but
that'd be fun.
It's kind of like, how'd they get from the end of this film to the Torment of Tantalus testing and stuff? Be interesting to know.
Yeah. Because I understand the feel for the need to erase their memories, at least her and her father's memories. It obviously comes off as just a little cheesy and a little cheap. It's a not very expensive web series, if any of us haven't noticed, So you have to take liberties where you can, and I guess suspension of disbelief in our side of things there. And I completely understand why they did it. I think the only things that give it weight, which I do like that they added the things that give it weight to it, are there's enough that they know they went somewhere. They know they lost their memory. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, today's Tuesday, and what happened to the last day and a half, Obviously, they've got funding from different places. They have people they're reporting back to. They've been gone for a little bit, and we get back to, and okay, something happened. We don't know what, but something happened. I appreciate that they at least take the time to make sure that is part of everything. Yeah. I like that Beale, the boyfriend, the British soldier, and then Wasif, I guess, I don't know if he's a British soldier or Egyptian soldier or exactly what he is. I don't love that he gets enslaved as a Jaffa. Yeah. But I appreciate that they take the time to give both of those characters weight, and Beale getting popped, and then Wasif actually, it sucks for the guy, but he gets involved in the Stargate world in that sense. It gives weight to the events of the film. And then Ra coming in there doing what he does at the very end also gives weight and gives credence to what was going on. He was a Commonwealth soldier. The Kasuf, or Kasuf, I guess, whatever the proper pronunciation is, I do like that they tie him in, and it does feel a little Star Warsy, where everybody's related in the galaxy, and you're going to get back to the same place somehow. But with what's going on in the contained story that they made and had to keep the license for Stargate at the time, it makes sense including that character, and it is a nice tie-in. I wish there was a line or two, and I don't know, there might be that I'm just not remembering, but it would be fun if there was a Kasuf line or two in the original Stargate film that was, more saviors or something like that, But it does introduce Kasuf and his kind of like jovial personality, which is nice. Do you think all of that was enough weight to off balance or balance, I guess, the memory loss and the kind of, we're at the end of the movie and nothing actually happened, Right.
It was kind of cool, I guess, to give us a little more backstory about some characters, although does Kasuf get his memory erased? I guess he does. And she's kind of speaks that prophecy or whatever over him that he'd be the leader of his people and stuff. But
I don't think he has his memory erased.
Yeah.
Because he would have been bleeding from the nose.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I'm like, okay. But then in the movie, of course, he doesn't see Catherine in the movie.
Well, that's true too.
Did they ever see each other again? Even in the show? I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So it was kind of interesting, kind of clever, like, hey, a character that we're gonna know, is
gonna be here soon.
Yeah. That was kind of a nice touch, I guess. I mean, we got a Harcesis. Am I saying that right? Child.
Yeah.
Again.
Do you like the inclusion of that, or does that just feel like too
It just
Easter egg?
seemed like, why was it there? I mean, the whole point was just, I guess, when Ra comes back in the end, he's gonna like kill her and the child or whatever. Or I guess
totally.
Does he kill him? I don't. I mean, just watched it last night. I can't remember. So, it just seemed like I don't know if it needed to be there because they're like, oh, he's going to come back to get the child, but he actually came back because the gate was activated. That's what her protector was saying or whatever.
I'm sure. I think it's Sectet is it Asset or I think it's something like that. I keep wanting to say asset. But it's Asset.
Yeah.
I think it's Asset and Sectet or Nectet or something like that. Maybe it was Nectet and Sectet were her two.
Serket is what Serquet. That's what I see on IMDb anyway.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. I do have IMDb pulled up right here.
Anyway, those two, the main chicks. Yeah. Asset and her, I guess, bodyguard kind of is what she is. Warrior.
Well, because if he's going to be spilling the cheese over to Raw and saying, hey, Stargate's open, there's some weird people that came through it. Got to come check out the Chop Eye over here. I'm sure she mentioned that, oh, yeah, if Raw's coming, I should tell him that there's a Harcesis child.
Yeah.
I'm sure that that information was relayed. We just don't see it relayed.
Right.
That thought, though, I actually really like the Harcesis child. I feel like the way they go about it, it seems and feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it gives Raw a reason to be there outside of, okay, some people use the Choppa Eye.
Yeah.
Like, it's
yeah, I guess she does tell him about that too, but
they don't specify it. I wish they would have, and this is where you give the suspension of disbelief and a little bit of, all right, you only had the budget you had. Because it would have been really nice to have seen that aspect explored a little bit more within the actual plot. Harcesis child reminded me of David Carradine Kung Fu, the younger years. But like, the Harcesis child's such a good overarching plot for Stargate. If they would have taken the time to focus on that a little bit, which would have given you a little bit more belief that it still works. I think the way the Gua'uld is kind of like, screw you, Nazis at the end,
Yeah.
Because it's let him fight for his own power. He said he likes to fight for his own power and deal with our own things, It's like, okay, that makes sense from the cultural standpoint. But if this Gua'uld is supposed to be a better Gua'uld that's trying to disobey Ra,
right?
I don't think making her a little bit better of a person and starting to question. If she's questioning Ra, why wouldn't she question what this Nazi general or not general, whatever lead scientist guy is doing in front of her, killing people?
It's not real clear. I thought like she was looking for slaves. Maybe she was looking to fight back against Ra on some level.
I believe that
maybe like getting people from Earth or working with them would allow her to achieve those ends. But then I think Dr. Langford or whatever, I think he kind of basically tells her like, look, you don't want to like be involved with these people. This isn't a good idea. Yeah.
And if Harcesis reminded me of Aang.
Yeah, it does.
The reasoning isn't there necessarily. I feel like all the right plot points are there, but the reasoning from the characters' perspectives, if I'm correct in remembering, because most of what the behind the scenes details that I know are just stuff that Jay or Jenny has mentioned over time,
right?
Or what we read on IMDb itself, or just watching Gate World or something like that, so on and so forth. But it only had so much time to shoot, I believe. I think they had a very not just restricted budget, but timeline to get everything done. And if they had just a little bit, I think all the right plot elements are there. But like just a second ago, if they were able to have a little bit more time to think about how to intertwine those a bit better, like I feel like they intertwine things fine, but from that interpersonal kind of point of view aspect of where the characters are coming from,
right,
isn't clear all the time in the show or movie, whichever one, I guess, a little bit of both. And I guess that's just where I find the most faults, because that's where the comedy, I think, is lacking. I think the comedy takes away from, which kind of sucks, because Stargate's always been pretty funny in its own way. But the comedy only takes away from, I think, Origins Catherine.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, there was a couple moments where it was okay, but it was kind of like, it almost felt like, oh, we need to make this funny, you know, like when what's his name? Beale? Was that the guy's name?
It felt like they're like, we need a Sam and Jack.
Beale and Catherine are kind of arguing with each other with that stuff going on in the background with Wasif and stuff. Was kind of like, okay, you know. It was a little cheesy sometimes, you know, like that whole thing with like that Nazi soldier that got left behind, and he was like wearing her underwear and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that character kind of didn't need to exist, I don't think. It just
no,
it just didn't work.
He would have been fine existing, not doing that. And the funny thing is him doing his little Sig Heil at the very end and the Stargate opening, like they're coming back, and then getting just blasted by a not a pulse rifle. I've been talking to Alien with Melvin.
Kawoosh.
A staff weapon, whatever, the easiest thing in the world.
Oh, right. It just and then it was like, well, then what was the point?
Just if he wasn't trying, if they hadn't have tried to use him as comic relief throughout the whole thing, that joke, which was a funny little gag, I think would have been absolutely hilarious. If it would have just, if he wouldn't have shown up in Catherine's underwear or anything like that, like you know, make them just. If the two things you get are the brief, him laying down on a bed real quick, you don't even have to show that. You can just show that, all right, this guy's still at base, and then all the Nazis on Abydos are like, oh, yeah, that's right. We have no luck because this guy's there. And then at the end, you're like, oh, they're coming back, and then he gets shot by the staff weapon. If those two moments were all you got from him outside of, I guess, the very initial stuff, perfect. I think more is less in that aspect.
Yeah, that scene where he was in her bedroom or whatever and like sat on something that like poked him or whatever. It was like, what? Just why? Just to remind you he's there. It was just kind of dumb.
Yeah, that wasn't necessary. The reminder of there is while they're about a fight and they're like, oh, we'll have the guy come back. It's gonna be fine. And that, oh wait, no, we left it with this guy. You know, if that was a brief little like moment and you don't have to actually cut back to Earth at that point, could have been funny. It is odd coming away from a Stargate project, watching it, and then thinking comedy was the issue.
Yeah, there should always be. I mean, even the movie, I think, had some funny moments with, you know, when Daniel gets drug off by that beast, whatever that is. You know,
oh yeah, there's some really funny
kind of funny. Yeah.
It's almost in that Men in Black. It's almost in the Men in Black sense, where obviously Daniel Jackson's not Will Smith, but you have Kurt Russell being that like Tommy Lee Jones like straight man that's just like everything. I'm gonna just approach it in this one. You know how I approach things. I'm gonna approach it like that every time, and you know, then Daniel Jackson gets to be the little goofier like. Well, you're not going to question that, you know, and we get some funny stuff out of that.
Yeah.
This was just a little bit. Ooh, Quest. That would have been interesting. I would have preferred that it was a Jiria instead of a set. Well, because it feels like a set may have been a Tok'ra-esque kind of Goa'uld, or at least leaning that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because it didn't seem like she was all that friendly.
Right. And
But I would
we're
appreciate
assuming that the Harcesis child was Ra in her, right? That's what I assumed. But we don't really know, do we? I just made that assumption. But
who fathered. Let me see if we can Google that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Who fathered the Harcesis child?
Yeah. I'm assuming it's Ra because I don't know.
I don't know if they have an answer for that, honestly.
Yeah. It was Ra's child. Okay.
No name father.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to assume it's Ra, though.
Well, I would think it would be assuming it was anybody but Ra. It was Ra's child? Are we sure? Because he would have known about what I guess he might not have known about the pregnancy, but is that brings up a lot of questions about Goa'uld culture. Like, are you supposed to, if you get pregnant while Goa'uld are mating, you can't have a kid normally, or it's a Harcesis child. So are you supposed to? I know it's a touchy subject, but the Goa'uld just go around aborting all the would-be
how does that work biologically? Because they're using
human biology as well.
So are the Goa'uld able to insert their genetics into their host's DNA? You know, in their reproductive systems, or is it just like, how does that work? You know, because they say it's like genetic memory or whatever they have, right? That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Of both the Goa'uld, right?
Right, and it seems that a Harcesis child is only when two Goa'uld bring their human hosts together, right? So just like, how does that biologically work? They don't think they ever really explain it. It's just somehow the child gets the Goa'uld stuff. It's kind of like weird.
Yeah, that is odd. We're just talking about Stargate Origins, Catherine, the web series that they turned into the little TV film that I think was 2018 is what we thought.
2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah.
They can combine their DNA with the child as it develops.
Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously they must have to do that. I'm just curious how that works.
Yes, I agree. I don't think we've ever actually had that.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, covered within Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Ross send a set there to hide from his enemies? He didn't send her there. He just revived her. Right. They make it a point that she was dead, and he they don't use the term revive, but resuscitate,
resurrected.
Resurrect. That's the one. That was RE something.
Resurrect her. So she must have. Okay. Maybe she was in hibernation, like what's her name? In the TV series where they had the containers with the Goa'ulds and sealed inside. It's the episodes where Daniel goes back to his university days. What's her name?
Osiris. Yeah.
Osiris.
I was trying to think if it was early on or later.
Yeah, like Osiris was like in a jar and then broke out and possessed Daniel's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I wonder if it was like that kind of, was it that? And he just put her in a new host, which resurrected her or whatever.
Where it was almost stasis for a while and then resurrecting into a host. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That seems Goa'uldy. And
they never really mention the Goa'uld in this either. They never say Goa'uld. They just use the voice. But they never mention Goa'uld at all.
Ooh.
So
I wonder if that was.
I mean, obviously that's what it is, but they never say it, and they never.
Well, yeah,
I guess they're in
either.
the story, why would that come up? It's just, you know.
Well, because everybody else just knows them as their gods at the moment. They don't know their
Right.
actual species
Right.
name thing.
Right. And
And
even
neither do the
even that
humans.
Nazi officer is like they're gods or whatever, but he just believes they're creatures, or he says like, you know, we need to know these creatures or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. It seemed like he was just looking for a different word than alien to use there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a while since I watched it. She was sent to govern Abydos, but was hiding the secret from Ra. Yeah. She was hiding from it. Yeah.
Yeah, so she must have hidden the fact that she had a baby, but her warrior chick, what's her name again?
Circuit, right?
Circuit, or whatever it was. Like she told Ra about everything.
Circuit, yeah. Serqet.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. But it has to be Ra's child. No, I don't think so at all. I think that's the reason Ra is going to come in here and execute her and everything like that at the very end of the film. Or series. Or series.
Yeah.
Because whenever I Google it, it says there's no name for the child, or no name for the father of the child.
Right.
And they would have Ra, if that was Ra's Arcesis kid, Arcesis child, that's Ra's second coming that he could put himself back into, and that would be good for Ra if it was his kid. Right. Because we watched
Unless he believed the whole it's an abomination thing, but I don't know. I mean, Apophis didn't.
Yeah.
You know, he did it intentionally, or tried to anyway.
I Googled it, and it is Ra's child. Well, then Google lied to me 5 minutes ago. I don't have the search up anymore. I guess it's.
I think I could see it being someone else, but I think we are supposed to be led to believe that it's Ra's child. Like he resurrected her, installed her sort of in power on Abydos, and she hid the pregnancy from him, and he was off doing whatever. Obviously, he hadn't been back to Abydos in a long time. If he, you know, didn't know about her being pregnant and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that's I don't know, because this immediately says it's not. And I feel like with the story at hand, I don't know if that's even legible from the way it looks on there. It says the Harcesis child was born to the Goa'uld, a set in Stargate Origins, was not fathered by a single known entity. It was the result of the Goa'uld rule for a human child of two human hosts rather than a single father. The child who was hidden from Ra would have possessed the full genetic knowledge of both the Goa'uld that inhabited the child's parents, posing a threat to the Goa'uld system. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was Ra's kid, because that wouldn't make sense for the story at hand, you know?
Yeah, when you think about it, it's very like unclear what the thing is. Either Ra just totally believed it was abomination, needed to kill the child, whether it was his or not, or you could see it being like if there was another father, then it would make sense that he would not want, you know, because the system lords are always vying for power amongst each other, and whoever would be able to then take a Harcesis child like as a host, I guess, or whatever, would have the ultimate power, supposedly.
Well, why wouldn't Ra just take over his own kid?
Yeah, it seems like
I feel like that's still the
you know, like I said, unless he just believes it's an abomination. But if they're all so power hungry, why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe we need a Stargate Origins Catherine sequel.
Yeah.
And maybe the Harcesis child does remain alive, and that ends up being Jay Davidson's version of Ra.
Yeah. It could be.
It would not make sense, but also they do say that Jay Davidson's human is ancient, right?
His human is ancient. He's from Yeah, because they do a little. Is it? It might be in. Is there an extended cut version of Stargate? Anyway, I think it might be an extended cut version. They show like when Ra takes the kid.
Yes.
As host.
I don't know if it gives the time frame. Melvin would probably know that. Do you know that off the top of your head?
I think it goes back to the times when they were regularly going between Abydos and Egypt, I think.
Because I almost feel like he was an Earth child or a child of the Tari. So.
Right, yeah, he was just one of like the Egyptians that got taken to Abydos, I think. And he just picked him to be his host for whatever reason.
Well, if they don't make that 1,000% clear,
yeah,
we can make the Harcesis child Jay Davis.
Actually, that kind of would have been a cool idea, you know.
I wonder if they made, I guess before they stitch it together into Origins Catherine, I wonder if they made Stargate Origins only with the thought process of, yeah, we need to keep the license. Let's just get something out there as fast as possible. We only have this amount of time to do it. Let's do it. Or if they were like, all of that, and, well, should we plan out a season 2 or 3? You know, I wonder if they had a little bit further of a blueprint that they were hoping to get to do, or if it was just this one and done web series, miniseries.
Right. I think maybe they were kind of trying to walk that line of it being both. Like, okay, this can be, if this is a one-off, it works as a one-off, but there's plenty of room to continue it if we wanted to.
Well, like if they were going to continue it, you'd have to find a way for Catherine and Paul to work, the Langfords, essentially. That or not include them at all. I feel like a sequel would have to either be following the Harcesis child and what happens to Aset, whether she's like enslaved or something like that, from Ra, and then they raise the child into maybe Jay Davidson or whatever, you know,
right?
Or Wasif becoming a Jaffa. Or, you know, we could just stay on Earth and hang out with the Langfords, but that's kind of tried and true, and it'd be kind of boring.
Well, at what point do they remember activating the gate? They just don't remember what happened at the point, because obviously we know later on they know how the gate works because they show that in the series in the Torment of Tantalus episode. So you could do a story of how that happened that led up to her. He was her fiance, I guess, at the time. I guess Catherine not very lucky in love.
She's a little preoccupied, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like, it's almost like what Quest is saying right there. I don't know if they were planning on leaving many doors open for a sequel, because boyfriend dies. There's no reason to go back and get him. You know? I guess they could go back and try to get him, but they barely remember the guy. They both.
Yeah, they don't remember. And he's dead anyway, right?
So met him once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a skeleton on the front steps whenever they exit out of the Stargate in the movie?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I was like, that would be kind of fun. I don't remember it. In 1944, they activated the gate when Littlefield went through the gate.
Yeah, I thought it was 40s, 50s, whatever it was. Yeah,
something. I thought it was. Yeah. I guess it has to be 40s because they've been working on it for 10 years, and the Nazis are around.
Wherever facility was it at?
I guess it was in Egypt. It was in Egypt.
Okay.
Is where they were. Yeah. Because that's where all the different people from all the different countries kind of show up and are able to be there, rather than, oh yeah, we're in Washington or Nevada or something like that.
Yeah.
I should have joined this live, LOL. If you want to, come hang. We're only half an hour into it. Yeah. I can send you a little invite. Because there are a few really interesting things I feel like could be done with this concept, but kind of like what you were just saying, Melvin.
Right.
I'm copy and pasting it on the old messenger for you.
It's like they almost pull it together, but it's just not quite there. It's like this.
With a little bit more time, it could have been just fine. I really do feel like it. But it does feel almost like instead of keeping the door open for a second series, that they were saying, "Hey, we could do this again if you want us to."
Yeah.
Which would have been fun. I think you mentioned something, Melvin, about I wanted them to do Stargate Origins O'Neill and stuff like that. As sad as it would be, it would be. I'm not going to say nice. It would be interesting to see all of early O'Neill military events and having the ending be a very sad ending with his son.
Yeah.
You know. But you could get Wyatt Russell to do it too.
Oh yeah, like So I always thought, anyway, we're getting away from the movie here. But,
we are.
But do we want Wyatt Russell to be like young O'Neill or O'Neill's son?
Young O'Neill.
Oh, young O'Neill. Okay.
Because O'Neill's son didn't really age very
right,
far.
Unless he had a son with that chick on that one planet.
Oh.
I didn't know about.
Ooh.
That is it like 100 days or whatever the episode? I think it's 100 days.
I don't remember many episodes individually.
But yeah, where O'Neill gets trapped on that planet because they think the gate's destroyed, but it really just got buried. And he was like with her, and then
a few seasons, right?
Yeah.
It was like 6 or 8 months he was there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, 100 days.
Oh yeah, duh.
So you could do a storyline of like, when he left, she was pregnant, and like either didn't tell him or didn't know, and there could be a kid out there.
I think Wyatt Russell's too old for that.
Yeah.
Let me Google how old he is, because I think he's either late 30s or early 40s.
Yeah.
He's 39. I think he'd probably be a little too old for that. A little
bit too old, yeah. Well, he could play younger, I suppose, but I don't know if that'd work.
Yeah. Well, Melvin, what would you say about Stargate Origins O'Neill, as you were saying?
That's what I thought originally that they were going to do. I thought they were going to do the web series of Catherine, and then they were going to move on to other characters, even Daniel, Sam. Would have been interesting to see Sam doing stuff as regular. Was it Deep Space Telemetry?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
The Sam storyline would have been extra interesting. Not in the sense, I actually think it'd probably be the most boring of the origin stories, because sadly it's
the direction they could have gone. They could have gone like the they could have gone the misogynistic route, whereas she was fighting against all the misogyny in the Royal Air Force.
Right.
To get herself out up front to be noticed. Which is the whole point of her original lines, where she was saying, just because my reproductive organs are on the inside, not the outside,
Yeah.
But she's been fighting that her career, and that would have been an interesting story to see her pushing herself to show that she's as capable as everyone else.
Yeah, but that's why
it doesn't have to be about traveling through the gate, does it? It's an origin story about the character, not necessarily traveling through the Stargate.
Yeah.
The thought I'd have on that, though, is that's so tried and true. That's why I kind of was like, it'd be the most boring thing, is because that's been done
at the time. When Origins came out, it was like, well, they could do so many different things, and that was one of the ones that I thought of back then. I thought, Interesting.
If Sam were to have her own origin story, I feel like it'd be really cool to follow the missions that made her applicable to join the Stargate program.
Mm-hmm.
So not, because Sam Origins would have been fun, but I don't think it would have been fun to watch Sam be like, those guys are picking on me. I'm going to prove them wrong. And because we've seen Sam do that throughout an entire series so many times.
Yeah.
We don't need to, it'd be retrotting in that sense. I feel like showing her at her
more along the lines of the episodes where they introduced Cadet Kelly or Kaylee.
Yeah.
I think it would be somewhere between that and kind of not Trinity from the Matrix, but like almost somewhere between that. Like you have to have Sam be badass and outstanding in her own field, not just I got a button or I got a I don't know what word I'm looking for. It just went right out of my ear
something
right there.
To prove or whatever. Yeah.
I got something.
She grew up in the military, so she's been military since her dad is a career military too. So, I like the angle that you were talking about, Harris, of her. Just what did she do to get accepted into the Stargate program? Like she did, didn't she build the computer system, or she was part of the ones that built the computerized dialing system?
She said she was part of the team. She was part of the team that created the supercomputers.
She was that. She could do that, and she had the combat ability, which is like, all right, show us that. I feel like what would be cool, and in that. If you want to set up more series Stargate, you could have you could show the program that Cadet Kelly and the rest of them join. You can kind of have the precursor to that system happening. And if you wanted to do a spin-off show or a little web series or something like that at any point, that would open up the door to do something like that. Because it's like, okay, well, these are the best of the best within the military's respective units. Put them in there.
And they could also link it. Like if they did an O'Neill origin story where he was like special forces fighting in Iraq, and then you could have Sam, who also done combat missions in Iraq, could have indirectly supported a mission that Jack was on.
Yeah, because I guess you can't have them meet. They meet in the meeting room, but you can have them brush up against each other. They're in the military.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, yeah, that's always a good point. Yeah. And Stargate Origins, Teal'c would be bad, great, because he'd be the bad guy the entire time, so it'd be fun. But
he'd still be quite young, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't quite be. He'd be probably a teenager.
Yeah. You kind of see him get
to Jafar age.
Right. Maybe start with him getting, the larva Gould inserted like his son did. Like, we start with that and then, be interesting to see because even in the first episode of the series, we see that Braytak and Teal'c are already questioning things.
Oh, yeah.
And they're kind of subverting, very quietly. So how did that start? How him and Braytak get together and what gets them thinking that way would be cool.
The Teal'c origins showing him go from one of the strongest, if not the strongest of the Jaffa warriors outside of the First Prime to taking the First Prime role from Braytak would be a really fun thing to watch. If they were to continue these origins, of course.
Right. They do show that a bit, though, don't they? When Teal'c gets brainwashed and Braytak has to bring him back.
They retread on that a lot.
I think it would be more along the lines of him trying to get revenge for the murder of his father. Because you remember, he specifically goes on missions for Apophis. It was Apophis. Yeah, it was Apophis. And becomes First Prime of Apophis purely to seek revenge on them for the murder of his father.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they even say that he fought that hard to get to that point because he wanted revenge.
Yeah, I think there was a scene that kind of shows that too. I think,
Yeah.
wasn't there?
And I think they cover that in the episode where he actually gets his revenge and kills the Goa'uld. I can't remember which one was it.
Yeah, going through that process and then having that first prime kind of be bestowed on him at the end would be an actual really fun movie. The hard part there is they were old enough as Goa'uld to probably technically be looking the same as they were in the series.
Yeah.
But do you get the old guys back to play younger and age them down now and spend the extra cash to do that, or do you just hire somebody young?
Thanks, Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I mean, his sole purpose for becoming the first prime of Apophis was to kill Kronos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, with Origins Catherine itself, when was the last time you watched it, Melvin?
Got to be over a year. I think I watched the movie version when it came out, and then I watched the web series as weekly as they dropped. I think 2 episodes at a time.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
That's before I knew Stargate.
Yeah, I was aware of it, but it was like you had to pay or whatever, so I didn't bother with it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they would have. I mean, I can't remember if I noticed scenes that were missing in the film that were in the episodes. I'm pretty sure there will be, but I don't know which ones. I can't remember.
That's a thought. We may mention the thought. I don't know if we're 100% gung-ho on doing it.
Yeah.
But would chat, y'all let us know. We'll do it for you if you want us to. But if not, we're going to go ahead and jump on to Stargate Infinity for the next one. And go into the depths of the unknown of Stargate. That or it would be fun.
Where they're intelligent enough to actually have vehicles to go through the gate one.
Yeah.
It's 27 years in the future. We'll see, or whatever the actual.
Maybe by then, yeah.
To infinity and beyond. That's actually. The couple thoughts for the next few episodes of Stargate Outpost, which come join us, Melvin. It's a lot of fun to obviously talk Stargate when we can. Stargate Infinity, we're going to get to. The 2 thoughts with Catherine and Origins here is Infinity a game? No, it's actually a Stargate animated TV show made for kids that most people in Stargate have never seen.
Completely
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I never have either. I mean, expectations aren't high, but we feel like since we talk about Stargate, we should talk about everything Stargate, the good and the bad.
So the thoughts here, like what we talked about beforehand, Sarah, do we want to rewatch the mini-series for Stargate Origins as well? And now that we've seen Catherine, we can kind of piece together, like you were just talking about, Melvin, what they took out, what they added, so on and so forth.
Yeah, no.
Do y'all want to do that? Do y'all want us to do that? Chat. The other thought is what we mentioned earlier a little bit.
Sounds like a good idea for a poll for the chat. Get the votes up.
Yeah, let me get the thought out first, and then I'll actually figure out how to get the poll out because I got to go to YouTube to do that. The other thought is what Sarah was just talking about a few minutes ago. Instead of going back and just watching Origins again and kind of doubling that out, do we want to do a little bit of a Catherine kind of marathon where, okay, we've watched Stargate Origins Catherine. That's box 1 ticked. After that, watch the 1969 episode. Tick that box. After that, watch Stargate the film. Tick that box. Then Torment of Tantalus. And there's 1 or 2 other episodes she's in, I believe. Would we want to do a Catherine marathon? Or jump straight to Infinity? Those are the 3 thoughts. Let me go ahead and get into the old. actual YouTube to put the poll out.
Got to encourage you to do this stuff. So you.
I'm just trying to think like what order, but I don't know. I think Torment of Tantalus would be before 1969, though, right? If we're doing like that part of the, because that goes back to what was it, the 40s or 50s when her fiance ends up getting stuck, and then 1969 happens where they have to basically just find where the gate is stored. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if we get a lot from her that episode, except for Daniel and Sam, right? Talking to her to try to find out where it is.
Pretty much.
But yeah. I mean, there was some tie-ins from the series and the Origins movie too, like, using a car to power the gate. They kind of recreate that moment of Catherine, like kind of standing in front of the gate, putting her hands in it like Daniel did in the movie. Things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry. He was in a bell diving suit. That's right.
Poll is up.
Okay.
Y'all holler. Let us know.
All right.
Because there are things that correlate well. Do y'all want us to stick on Origins while we're going through all the Origins? Jump on to a Catherine marathon, or go right ahead and get to a little Stargate Infinity, and then keep expanding on. Have you seen Stargate Infinity, Melvin?
I watched some of it, but I think at the time
it just pissed you off.
I think I was still watching Atlantis at the time. I thought, this is too different. I'm not going to watch it now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was when did that Infinity run? It ran around the same time as, was it mid SG1?
Infinity.
It was after SG1 took off, so it's got to be after the third or fourth season, hasn't it?
It ran from 2002 to 2003.
What's that, season 4 of SG1?
I was 3 years old when it came out.
I think that's 6 and 7, maybe.
6 and 7.
What was the question?
I keep forgetting how long SG1, how far back to SG1
5
goes.
and 6, maybe.
97.
Yeah.
Because SG1, I was 2 whenever. I was born when it was 2. SG1's 2 years older than me.
Jeez.
Oops. But I think Atlantis was Atlantis.
So for all you know, when you were a little kid, you might have had this, Infinity on the screen, on the telly in front of you.
Yeah.
Where did it? What company owns it? Because that is a possibility. Oh, it says it's streaming on Prime. We might have to double check that here in just a second.
That would be MGM Plus for us, I think, in the UK.
I guess.
I think it's on. I don't know if all of it's on YouTube, but I think.
The user reviews are quite funny. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Garbage! Painful to watch, painful to listen to. Try reading books instead. Embarrassment. A pale, cheap, trite, oversimplified show that Stargate and name. Oh no! What are we getting ourselves into?
Yeah. No, I'm not expecting it to be good. It's just it's part of the Stargate universe,
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We came into Origins with complete lowest expectations possible, and it ended up being a little bit better than expected.
Yeah.
It's not all that bad of a TV movie, honestly. It is.
It's all right.
It's somewhere between Disney Channel TV movies and Continuum and Arc of Truth. Somewhere in between there. Don't know exactly. I think it's better than most Disney Channel TV movies. But it ain't Continuum or Arc of Truth just yet.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it is.
It is on YouTube as well and Prime. Okay.
With MGM Plus for us in the UK.
Yeah.
Can you get that? Do you have that?
Yeah, it's the add-on on Prime, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't have the MGM Plus.
Yeah.
No,
well, if it's on
we
YouTube,
do have
then
the
just,
channel.
I don't know if it's on YouTube.
Stargate Infinity, one season.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shows that you can play every episode.
Right. There's 26 episodes that you got to watch. Well, we have 2 weeks to watch them, I guess. if that's what we're doing, we haven't decided yet, I guess.
Oh,
At
yeah.
some
Let
point
me
we will.
Yeah, but they're only like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
not too
typical
bad.
animated series.
Yeah.
20 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, you're not going to like it, Sarah.
The series.
They want us to go back and watch the series and do a compare and contrast. Right. Oh. So you got a month for Infinity now. That, or maybe
It's
even a month
right.
and a half. Because if we're going to do the mini series, should we go ahead and do the Catherine marathon over the month? Have a September of Catherine?
Sure. So you want to do like we watch the mini series and basically see what's different?
Uh-huh. And we'll talk about that in this coming
and
2
then
weeks.
Do the Catherine marathon after that?
Yeah, so for the rest
I guess
of
we don't have
September,
to since we just watched all that, then it's just watching the SG1 episode, the movie and SG1 episodes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if it's the 3rd right now, okay. 17th will be our next Stargate Outpost, and that will be over the mini series of Origins, not Catherine, excuse me. And then on the 1st, we will start off Halloween month.
Don't forget that these are only like between 10 and 15 minutes long episodes.
Oh yeah, they're very quick little web series.
They're very short, so
gives me plenty of time to choke down Infinity.
Yeah, that's gonna be. But anyway, I'm just curious about it. I'm no high expectations for sure.
I guess is that really what y'all want, y'all? We could combine the two and say, let's watch the miniseries and the rest of the Catherine stuff. Start off next episode of Outpost with talking about the differences, the compare contrast aspect of that, and then lead into the continuation of Catherine.
Yeah, we could do that.
That is a little bit more to, I guess, watch and write some notes on over the next 2 weeks.
So I guess, are we just going to watch?
Shame you can't do a watch party for it.
Yeah.
For the series of Origin, because they're very short.
Yeah.
I guess we could. It's just making sure everybody can get there at the same time to do that, which can be a little difficult. Yeah. I could do it just me, or we could get Sarah to do it, or if you want to come in and do something, those are options. But it is more fun with multiple people and watching it.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the idea of it. I just don't know if we can make it work.
Because
we'd probably have to do it in the evenings, and we could do it during the day. But that anyway, I'd like to, but I just don't know if we could get it to work.
Problem is, there are talking points through a series, isn't there? There's points where you just want to stop and talk. And you end up going. You end up missing, like, for this series, for Origins, you probably end up missing like 3 episodes just rather than chat.
Actually, yeah. Well, and if we wanted to pause it, the confusing thing with time is if we pause it, the timer continues to run. Because I don't think OBS has I'm sure OBS has some version of a timer that works a little bit better, but I have yet to find it. And I guess Chazz hasn't either. If anybody knows good assets on OBS that will allow us to pause the timer, shoot them our way, please. Check the SciTrek email and let us know. But
the only way I know of would be to get one on YouTube onto the screen, sort of crop it into just the timer, and then just have it so that if you want to pause it, you can press spacebar and it will pause both.
Right.
But that's the only thing I can think of. Because any time you put on to say something like OBS, most of the time, if you want to pause it, it'll reset.
Yeah.
You know, if there was a way that I could make this screen smaller, that makes it full screen. That's the exact opposite of what I was trying to do there. If there was a way to make this the same size as us and have it like one of these 4, but then go online.
You can edit this. You can edit the layouts. So but I'm not sure how you do any much else than that.
Oh. I clicked a different demo scene, and it was not what we were looking for. That I can play around with after, of course.
Yeah.
I have friends that stream video games for 8 hours on OBS. Yeah. Yes, but not everybody can jump off and just stream 8 hours at a time, especially I've got a very busy household. Things happen. Sarah has a family that she has to help run and you know, help flourish.
I mean, I've streamed games for a couple of hours at a time, and you know, I know roughly how it's done. But
well, I mean, shoot, we did.
The issue is that we cannot have anything like the audio or any visual of the show on the stream due to copyright. That, you know, pain in the ass.
Yeah, because that's what we always struggle with is.
I mean, if you record it, it's perfectly fine because then you can pause it, talk about what you want to talk about, and then carry on again with it on the screen. Because when you're talking, the show or the episode will be paused. You can record it, and you press play again, and the recording stops. So you record in segments and then edit it all together. I used to do that with Babylon 5.
Aye.
Yeah, the reaction shows like you see on YouTube where they have just every so often they
that way I've got the
graphic, or they just don't show the picture for a little bit. But you know, lots of times they do time jumps too. There's not like every minute of the show or movie.
But that's the thing. They changed everything. That you used to be able to play up to. I think at one time it was up to a minute. Then it was reduced to like half a minute, and now it's nothing. You're not allowed to have any of it.
Aye.
It's a pain in the ass. It would be nice to be able to have it, but even if you just put it behind something where you contribute to the copyright so that you can do it, that would be nice. But no.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can give the entire video to whoever's copywriting, but I wish there were a way, because YouTube's really good about it now, or not really good about it, but they're becoming really good about it. Is music wise, it's harder to copyright now because they have that new deal with all the different artists where if you are copyright now, they don't get the full video monetization. They'll get
they get the monetization for the period of which that music is playing.
Yes, and that makes sense. If it would be nice to have something along those.
Not to the person who's done the stream. Bailey, stop. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, I don't know when they're going to ever have something like that, but I'm sure it's along the line of things.
Got anything soft to throw at me? I'll throw my mug at him. No, I'm joking.
Just, I guess, because now we're just getting into the weeds of what we want to be doing and stuff.
Yeah.
To kind of bring it back to Catherine, Origins Catherine. If y'all had to give a good and bad and ugly about the movie version of it, the TV film, what would be your good? What would be your bad, and what would be your ugly?
I'm just going to mute my microphone. I'm going to deal with the dog.
Yeah, no worries. I can start if that helps a little bit as well.
Good. I think maybe not how it played. I don't know. I think they did a pretty decent job with like the overall story of kind of setting it in that time. You know, I'm not going to say it's the greatest story, but at least it's kind of a complete story. You know, then They don't know what the gate does. The Nazis have figured out what it does. They have to stop, this alliance from happening or whatever, which I guess. Anyway, I'm like losing track of my thoughts here.
No,
Just the overall story, I think, was all right. Some of the bad was some of the just the budget they had. Some of the things looked a little cheesy and cheap. But I think they did the best with what they had. But it's not like the greatest thing. What was the third thing you said? Good, bad, ugly.
Good, bad, the ugly.
Yeah, I did a few times with some of the makeup things and like the yellow eyes instead of glowing eyes, if that's what they were going for. I don't know. But what was ugly? I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe gosh, what is ugly? I don't know.
Well, the way I was thinking about it, the bad is whoever wrote all the damn jokes. The
humor. Yeah, that was
the humor in it is legitimately bad. I think.
Yeah, it is. It's bad.
If they would have just taken themselves a little bit more seriously on set, and I'm sure the set was probably a great time. It looks like they were all having a lot of fun. But if they would have taken themselves seriously just a little bit more, I think this would be closer to Arc of Truth and Continuum than the Disney Channel movie, instead of neatly in the middle and maybe a little closer to the Disney Channel movie side of things, The good, which was really good, was Connor Trinneer. I thought him as Paul Langford, actually acting wise, if Connor Trinneer was not in this movie or series, it would be significantly worse.
It's a great actor.
His makeup doesn't necessarily make him look like he's in his middle of 50s or 60s or 70s, however old they were trying to make him look,
Yeah, he doesn't look that old.
But his acting, and it's not like he's going to go win an Emmy or win an Oscar for the acting, but it solidifies the heart of everything, and he's what holds. He's the glue. I think he's the glue of the entire miniseries and/or Catherine TV film.
Yeah.
And then I'd say the ugly would be the plot, because there's something beautiful down there. It just didn't have the time to have that glow up, as you might say nowadays.
Yeah, it just wasn't quite. It just needed one or two more elements to it, and you can't really put your finger on exactly what it is, but it's like
not even that. I think it has all the elements it needs. It just needed to take the time to kind of take them a little bit more seriously, instead of we need this. They did a very good job with we need all these boxes to be checked for it to feel like Stargate and to make a Stargate project. Boom, 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 boom. If they would have had another two weeks maybe of just being able to think through what they had, like we talked about with the Harcesis child, if that was a more overlaying plot, if a set wasn't if it was more clear what her intentions were, if there was a more delicate touch applied, the ugly would be the good. Instead of honing in on a specific actor in the whole thing. But anyway, that's my good, bad, and the ugly. Do you have an ugly, Sarah, or we can roll back?
The humor was kind of ugly.
Melvin, you got us.
Well, the ugly thing for me is not knowing what happens to the surviving Nazis.
Well, none of them did.
That felt like it was going to be like. That felt to me like, I wonder if that's going to be an upcoming, Stargate project. With modern times, where there's a planet that's being controlled by Nazis.
Did they all get killed?
No, I don't think they survive. I think they all die.
I don't think they all do, because I think they keep one or two of them. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
at least one of them escapes, don't they?
Eva escapes.
Oh, the film, the chick that was shooting the movies? Her?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what happened to her. She just, whatever.
Origin sequel. Here we go. We're ready.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have been surprised if a Gould or a lower Gould learning about what the Nazis were like, kind of taking that persona on, like the others took on the gods. You know,
right?
Because it is a way of controlling people and achieving power.
Yeah,
like
I mean that's
the Nazis did.
Right up Gould alley there.
Yeah,
But,
that might be an interesting series.
well, if it wasn't
could you imagine a Gould mothership with a swastika on the side of it?
right.
Don't give people writing the new series any ideas here.
I had this thought. I mean, it's Abydos, so it wasn't work. But I was like, well, what if, if we got a continuation? What if some Nazis like survived, and now SG-1 goes back to that planet now 80 years later or whatever, and what happened? But obviously, it would have had to have been on a different planet, not Abydos.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this definitely took place in Abydos.
Yeah.
Hey, well.
Oh, yeah. Was Hitler a Gould? That's what I thought he should be. He fits the profile.
He does fit the profile.
I
Just
think
like
the way around. I think the profile fits him.
Yeah.
Oh, touche. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The Gould would want to go inside of the old Adolf's neck. Like if they were to ever do an Origins sequel, which they're not going to ever do, of course, there's no need to. But instead of, because like we kind of talked about, unless it's that one specific story, you're kind of pigeonholed with the Langfords. It would be interesting to follow the Ava, whatever her name was, the cinematographer for the little Nazi crew, to see what the hell happens to her.
Yeah.
Because she was a bad guy by association, but she's the one who I was about to say, what happens to the main Nazi bad guy? She shoots the hell out of him. That's what happens. I forgot.
Yeah, she kills him. Yeah.
So she's got some good in her, and she felt bad for the other guy getting killed and so on and so forth. Yeah. There could be a redemption arc, but also a few like potent reminders that, oh yeah, she was fine with everything up until right then, is like,
yeah,
there could be that'd be an interesting place to play with that, but also
right. And they kind of insinuate like that her and that Nazi officer were in a relationship too, right?
But
even though he was kind of treated her like crap, but
I think like a lot of things, I think that was more of an influence thing. It's like to use his influence to achieve, to step up the ladder. That's what I think.
Yeah, because it seemed like she was more friendly with the guy that got shot from the officer.
Yeah.
So interesting. But the Connor Trenier acting performance, I think, is the biggest highlight I could find. Besides,
and he's done Stargate before, so
he's done some great Stargate. Mr. Lamplight himself.
Yeah, that's not. I can't remember again.
It's Last Light. I remember Last Light from Lamplight. I'm pretty positive it's Last Light.
Dark Star. I don't know. Whatever.
But yes, it's Last Light. Okay.
I never had a problem with the cast. Really, not really. I think Egal did quite good playing Catherine.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So they were all pretty good. I mean, Connor obviously stands out. He's the most recognizable one there, I think, because especially for the Stargate franchise.
Yeah.
And anyone who's seen Star Trek. specifically Enterprise, and has finished watching it.
What was that? Huh?
Yeah.
What? Sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
Well, I would have to disagree a little bit there. I actually, and I don't like poo-pooing actors necessarily, but I don't think the girl that played Catherine was well cast. I think visually, sure, great. She looks the part. I mean, any kind of blonde actress that's 120 pounds, you could kind of put in that role. Like that one's not difficult to cast look wise. I just wish the actress who was cast cared about accurately portraying how someone from the 1940s talks, because Connor did it right.
Yeah,
Connor was correct.
Yeah,
Miss Catherine Langford did not care at all.
A lot of that doesn't necessarily come from anything other than experience, right? So it depends on what she's done in the past, in my opinion. And
Google existed during that time period. She can do her own research as an actress, and as an actor, our job is to do the correct research for the character, and there was no research done. But also, I can't put that blame entirely on the actress, because a director's job is to say, hey, we're supposed to be in the 1940s. We're not in 2015 right now. And that obviously had not happened, or it had happened and they were like, we're going to have to recast and repay and do a whole new thing for this. If we try to go find somebody different, we might as well just do what we got.
What was written kind of weird too. Like sometimes she was like really smart, and then other times they made her seem really dumb, and it was kind of like the little inconsistency there. I mean, I think anyway, they were trying to make her a bit like, I think, Evie from The Mummy a bit, but it didn't work. But I think they were trying to go for that a bit.
Agreed.
But
like the thing that threw me off about that the most in the whole, at least TV film version of it, the TV movie, is she's dumb the entire first, not act, but the first half of the movie. I guess it's a little bit closer to the first act, and they use the second act to it's the worst word in the world, and hey, we're adding it to the dictionary. De-dumbify is my new word here. They de-dumbify her throughout the second act by having her learn the language that Wasif barely knows and can only pick up one of every few to 10 words, is what he said. Because his grandma spoke a dialect of it. So he can go
talking ancient Egyptian, which is which is pretty much a lost language.
Completely. So it's already a stretch that Wasif can be a translator through those 1 to every 10 words or so. And then over the second act, he gets the hang of it, and I don't mind him getting the hang of it. But then you immediately just teach Catherine, and Catherine's just fully talking to the Abydonians in their own language in the next act, just going on ventures with Kasuf, walking around. I'm like, she went from like ditzy blonde to I'm Samantha Carter in a very short amount of time. And
and like she didn't know any ancient Egyptian.
No, there was nothing about it beforehand. She knew some of the symbols, I guess, but none of the actual language, which was what was the whole point of the character of Wasif. So you kind of screw up the character of by trying to push more of it onto Catherine. Hey, I'm a white dude with blonde hair. I'm not the right person to necessarily say it, but it ends up just being a little bit of a white savior story instead of, hey, you have this dude that is closer to speaking the language for you.
Yeah. And
guess what? He's even, if we want to do every diversity box at the moment, he fits them. So in 2017, 18, and particularly it makes sense. to be going for all that. You have your gay dude over here that can speak a different language. Give him a better character instead of making him a caricature of somebody and then letting the white girl go ahead and do it. When that's not a complaint, I'm the person to have that complaint. I'm not the person to have that complaint typically, you know. It just didn't feel right within the story that was given. It was like, you're not going to learn all this in literally 14 hours, 16 maybe. Like, how about the guy that's grandma speaks part of the dialect? You give him a little bit more of that characterization, spend a little bit more time with him, and maybe grow that relationship that happens in the background rather than, oh, yeah, that happens. Oh, we'll make a quick little joke about it. That ticks our box, and now the entire LGBT community is happy with us. It's like, no, if you want to actually make a good character, all it is like, hey, look what we did, guys, and then they just move past it. It's like, come on. If you're going to do something, do it. Have the balls to do it. Excuse my French, I guess, but...
Well, I was kind of surprised that Catherine didn't know any ancient Egyptian. I mean, her and her dad are working closely together, studying all this stuff. She doesn't know it. Seemed weird to me.
Well, it was the whole point of having, like, that's where I'm guess that little bit of a rant comes from. Is like, have the balls to do one thing. Instead of, it feels like the Disney live action Lilo and Stitch remake, where instead of having Agent Cobra Bubbles be an ex-CIA agent, you know, and also be a not a hospice worker, but he works for the he's a child services worker. He works for child services, and then ends up being the bigger character at the end of the film. In the live action Lilo and Stitch remake, they give it to two different characters. So now you have your social worker and you have your CIA agent. And they both just amount to nothing at the end of the day. And it feels like both of those characters should have been, Catherine and Wasif probably should have been one character, realistically. I'm okay with them splitting it up into two, but then you have to give both of them enough meat on their bones to have a meal, or we don't have anything at all. And it ends up, I think that's one of the big, I wouldn't say that's the biggest complaint about Origins, but it's stuff like that where, hey, 2 more weeks worth of thought and actually coming together with the full idea. I think Origins could have been a really cool project. I'm not saying it's not. It's a good little project. Yeah. But there's a reason it's thought of in the Stargate community as it is. And I think just a little bit more thought or thought and care, I hate saying, but just a little bit more time to apply thought and care would have saved a lot of effort on their part.
Yeah.
Soapbox off. Go for
it. I just feel like, you know, they've always presented Catherine as like she's a very smart, capable person. And then in this, there's a lot of scenes where they'd portray her like that, and then they'd portray her like she was the dumb blonde, like you were saying. And I didn't like that.
Well, and also, I don't think dumb blonde from 1940s acts like dumb blonde from the mid-2000s, because it felt like the actress only knew how to play dumb blonde from the mid-2000s. And I don't know if that character trope applies to the 1940s in the same way. And if it did, wouldn't it be more like a Marilyn Monroe kind of thing or something like that, where, okay, you're skating off your looks, not your smarts. But it's not necessarily the dumb blonde kind of version of what we've grown into in modern era, you know?
Right. And that's just not Catherine's character to be a dumb anything. Yeah.
And for the first half of the film, I'm going to say half, because at least the first half of the second act, she's still, well, do, and you're like, come on. So yeah, where we did have very low expectations and found a lot of good things out of this film, there's still some stuff that sticks out.
Yeah.
Kind of like with Alien Earth.
Melvin's thinking, I'm so glad I didn't actually rewatch this. Like the first hour of this, he's probably like, I could have rewatched this and it would have been nice. And now the last 10 minutes has been, I think I made the right decision.
Yeah.
I actually think I'm going to have to rewatch it after this, actually.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to come join us for the, do we want to just do the Catherine marathon and rope the
What's the
Origins
poll
miniseries into that? Oh, that's a great point. I'm scared to check it. Hey! Oh God! Now it's completely different. Now it's completely tied at 29% for the Origins web series and 29% for Catherine Langford marathon. 43% say, "Yeah, let's go to Infinity."
Sounds
I
like
was kind
Infinity
of
is
getting on
winning
board
to
with
me.
Catherine marathon. Sorry, say that again.
Sounds like Infinity is winning to me.
It does sound like it.
The other two are split.
Okay, that is a good point. But also, you can't have her saying something this smart. Oh wait, was this in Catherine, or this is in Stargate SG-1 or the movie?
No, this is
'Cause I
what
don't
happened when we were when they were connecting the gate to the cars, direct current to AC current. Despite the fact that I would have thought that the Stargate is a direct current
in SG-1, yeah.
device. So
I was about to say that didn't happen in Catherine or Origins Catherine. I sure hope it doesn't. Okay, good. I was like, I don't think it does. Because if it would have really aggravated me if that was the case, because then she's really smart and then dumb for half the movie and then smart again later.
Yeah.
That would have been dumb or annoying at least.
Mm-hmm.
But no, old Catherine is one of the coolest people ever.
Yeah.
So with this thought, do we go along with the poll and we say,
chat is God.
We're infiniting? Because I do like the idea of doing a Catherine marathon.
How many episodes? Are we just going to watch like every SG-1 episode that has her in it?
You know what? Let's go ahead and do the Infinity. And this way we can plan out a Catherine marathon. And if we want to do watch parties, we could even try to plan that out a little bit. Whether it's one of us, two of us, 5 of us, 15 of us, or whatever ends up going on. Michael Lindsay in the chat here suggested we stream on Kick because they don't do copyright strikes for watching things, I think is what he said. Yes, Connor and Dom on the Shuttlepod show is great, and Decon Chamber now.
I was going to say,
Kick doesn't give you. What is it? Just for music, or do they not copyright you for television and movies as well? Because that could be a whole different animal.
Right. Yeah.
It all depends, because I mean, Kick is going to be similar to Rumble. I mean, yeah, they're gonna do things different to YouTube, but at the same time, they're not as big as YouTube, so they don't have to deal with everything that YouTube does when it comes to the copyright. At a point when, they grow to become nearer to what YouTube is, that's when they'll get the issues with copyright. So it's only something that's like temporary until they build up their popularity.
Okay. Well, because the thought process and the idea I had from Michael mentioning that was, or is, if we want to do watch parties for these things, we could do those on Kick and make Kick our watch party kind of area. Or, because, we could always do them on Patreon. The what?
You can do that on Rumble as well. It's about the same as Kick.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess whatever would be. I feel like Kick's more popular nowadays. I just don't know much outside of, the main 1 or 2 or 3.
Are we making a Patreon level thing?
That's what I was thinking. We could also do watch parties with Patreon, but that's also putting it behind a paywall, and it can kind of exclude. And Kit gives 95% of the money that you make from super chats. Oh, cool.
Streamlabs gives you 100%. In fact, I've had some tips on Streamlabs where they've left me a message and I've done that. But when I've cashed out, the only one that's actually taken money was PayPal for the transaction. Take money out of your account out of your PayPal into your bank account. That was the only money I lost, which is a shame.
Well, now you need to get yourself a PayPal debit card and a PayPal credit card or something like that, because then you can just use it from there. They all do that now. They're getting us. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't agree with the terms and conditions on PayPal though, because no matter how much money you've got in there, they can choose to shut your account down and take your money anytime they want.
I don't like that either, if that's the case. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. But okay, we will discuss if we want to do watch parties in general, just amongst SciTrek, of course, and we will also figure out if we do want to do them, what the best place to do them would be.
I'd say stick with YouTube for now.
That's kind of my thought process as well.
It's your largest platform. I mean, have you streamed on Kick or Rumble or anywhere else before?
No,
never.
You don't have the audience is here, so. I mean, you might as well say, well, then why don't we move over to Twitch?
Oh well, I guess Twitch doesn't copyright things, huh?
They do, but the thing is, if you run your streams through OBS or Streamlabs, you can actually cut out the music on the stream, so you can hear it on your end. But when it comes to playback, there's no music on the stream, but you can still hear everything and see everything perfectly fine.
Well, if we were to do something,
you can't do that anywhere else other than OBS and Streamlabs. But that's only because Streamlabs is based on OBS.
Because that would make almost more sense, if anything, just because Twitch is the larger platform. But also, I don't love the way Twitch, and I wouldn't want to do Twitch anyway, because part of the reason we want to do watch parties,
mainly gaming. So if you play games, it's your thing.
And part of the reasons I don't want to do it on Twitch would be because we don't get a library of what we've done afterwards. It deletes after, is it a week or a month?
At a certain point, you have to have a certain amount of followers before it can hold on to certain projects.
Well,
you can download them. If you record them and then post them up somewhere else, that's fine. But Twitch is for games, technically.
Especially as like SciTrek, our reasoning for watch parties is almost, hey, one of the points that hopefully becomes evergreen for SciTrek, already has been to a degree, and hopefully will continue, of course, is it doesn't matter when, and the goal is with, watching Enterprise, Farscape, Trion, all these different things, is if someone in the future is watching these things and, maybe want somebody to watch along with them, but there isn't some live stream going on, there isn't somebody that's able to come hang out and watch with them for the day, the evergreen aspect of those watch parties are they can plug them on, and then you got the same time, laid out. You're in the right little zone. You get to hear discussion about what you're watching after the fact. Somebody can do that 10 years from now and rewatch it again, and that's why I think Twitch is kind of not the best on that.
Well, that's only because YouTube has unlimited storage. At a certain point, the storage capacity for YouTube is going to be so expensive. I mean, doesn't YouTube have to have their own server farms?
Oh, they do. Google Alphabet has warehouses.
Whereas Kick and Rumble, they rent out space on other server farms, so they have to pay for it. That
could end up an issue down the road with smaller companies like that.
Yeah.
Although, you like to support smaller companies rather than the big ones sometimes, but sorry, YouTube's just made it so handy and helpful every which way.
The Rumble and Kick, I think I think on Rumble you're monetized from the start. I can't remember if you are with Kick or do you need a certain number, a smaller number of followers. I can't remember, but I know on Rumble you're literally monetized from the beginning. First upload, you're monetized.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is all stuff that we might need to talk about and think about.
Yeah. Whoa, why am I glowing all of a sudden? Anyway.
She's gold!
I'm radioactive! No, my camera's like, because it's really looking at the green. Anyway, doesn't matter. Technical stuff.
It's She-Hulk is about to walk through all of your screens and have
there you go. Michael said it's going to kick
100 subs.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be too hard, honestly. I'm sure we have 100 people in the
Rumble. You don't need anything. But I don't think Rumble actually has memberships.
Anyway, Stargate Origins.
Well, I do have the. Wait. Where is it? Oh, wait. Yeah, I was about to say, we're back on Infinity now. Here we are. Stargate Origins IMDb page here. This shows us some of the fun facts, but of course, it's not what we just watched because this is the mini series.
Mm-hmm.
Where is? Oh God, where's Catherine? It was just literally right here. I can also
search.
Go back one, and we're back to Stargate Origins, Catherine. What? I don't think I'm signing in on IMDb here to rate it, but what are we going to rate Catherine out of 10?
4. For me, anyway.
I almost want to say 5, but there's too many things. I don't think I can get there. I think 4 is where I'm about.
I'd say 4.5. You can't do it half.
Let's do it. It won't let us do half. Nope. I was like, I don't think I'm signed in. All right. Well, we give it about a 4.5. That makes sense. Now let's get back to actual Stargate Origins, the original miniseries of it all, because that way we can get a couple fun facts here before we kind of head out. Did you know Kelly Vint Castro, the American agent, previously played the young Catherine Langford in Stargate in 1994? Who? Oh. Well, she doesn't have a photo on her page.
Google
Why is that?
It was almost cool. You're searching her? The goof of... Hi. Goofing about, Catherine goes from not being able to speak at all with the natives on the planet to being almost fluent at it a couple episodes later. Even assuming she's a fast learner, it's questionable that she has any previous knowledge of ancient Egyptian languages. Otherwise, she would have understood at least some words when first talking to Kasuf. However, Daniel experienced the same effect in the first movie. It was because the vowels were pronounced differently than he realized. It was a language nobody had spoken in over 2,000 years. Well, yeah, but he at least was like, the vowels, just change them up a bit, you know?
Yeah, he knew the language.
Another thing, because if Catherine knew how to speak ancient Egyptian, then she would have known how to translate to Stargate instead of having, what's it, Gateway to the Stars or something that they had originally.
Yeah. Great point.
But then they
so. Oh, at least she technically forgets the language as well. Because she has all of her memory of everything taken out, right? So she had all the time that
Asset did leave something for her to access later on, like she put a memory on in a locker, so to speak, with a time lock on it. So at a certain time, the memory would have been unlocked, which would have helped her do something with the gate.
Something.
Maybe go to the U.S. Air Force. Maybe that's the that's what was put in her head to make, to start the process of creating the SGC in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been the influence of a set.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I remember rightly, doesn't a set look at the German weapons or her gun or something and say, I see you've become more powerful or something, but you're not quite there yet.
She says it looks like you're worthy to join us again.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Essentially, saying, "Oh yeah, we'll take some more human slaves." Like,
yeah,
I think it's when she's got the hand device. She has the hand device on Catherine, I think. Does she? And she's looking at
she tells them different
memories
things.
or something.
I watched it 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago, and I still couldn't.
She sees something in Catherine that shows what the potential of humans would be in in the few decades.
So something like that. She does give, like y'all just said, she says two different things to both Catherine and Paul.
Was it said like in another 50 years you'll be ready or something?
Maybe. I don't know if it's that specific.
I can't remember. I'll have to watch it again.
It might have been that mediocre of a line where I just kind of brushed past it. I don't know.
Might have been edited out of the movie.
That might have also been the case. That's very true. Yeah. Okay. Well, connections. This is edited from Stargate Origins, episode 1. Okay, duh. Quotes. That's just here. Can we expand this just a little bit? Oh, there are a bunch of quotes. I don't know. The quotes aren't all that fun. Let's see if we can get actual good trivia in this, if there's more trivia. Oh, look, there is. Oh, nice. Okay. Connor Trenier previously played Michael Kinmore in Stargate Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
The 10-episode series was also edited together and released as a movie, which is better, probably. The series takes place in 1928 and 1939.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Kelly Vint Castro.
I think 28 is when they find the gate. 39 is when it's activated.
Yeah, that's that clip of the movie they play.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. So 28 minutes in, Catherine explores the event horizon, same way Daniel Jackson did.
Yep.
At 3:43s, it appears to be a Hanukkah menorah on the table between the Langfords. I always forget that's how that's spelled. During Stargate SG-1, Season 1, Episode 10, Dr. Langford states she was 21 during the gate experiments in 1945. Thus, this would make her character 14 or 15 during the events of this.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, she's like most definitely 18 or 19 in here.
Yeah.
Connor Trenier plays... Oh, yeah, same thing from earlier. Also, chief engineer in Star Trek Enterprise. There we go, Trip.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess that is kind of all there is to know about Stargate Origins, Catherine, from the layman's point of view. You know what would be interesting? I think we should go ahead and do Infinity. Let's check our poll one more time just to see where we're at. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. It's literally 25-25 to web series or to watch the miniseries or do the Catherine Langford marathon. But 50% say we should go ahead and go to Stargate Infinity. So y'all give me a yay or nay on this idea. We'll go Stargate Infinity next. And then we'll watch the Stargate Catherine marathon. And I'll message Jenny and see if she can come join us to go over all the Catherine stuff. And if we have questions about Origins and Origins Catherine, we can ask.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be fun? Would y'all be down?
Yeah. I am. Mm-hmm.
I would.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a little bit more of a fun way to do the Catherine stream, Catherine marathon. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we dive right into Infinity.
Curious, because I did do a quick search to see how many episodes Catherine is in SG-1. She's only in 3.
Okay. So that's 3 episodes, the original film, And we should also create an order for it. I'll Google the same thing, and I'll create the order.
The 3 episodes that I know that I remember that the Google said that she was actually in is New Order Part 2, Endgame, and Full Alert.
What about 1969?
Is that the actress that played the older Catherine? Because there's the younger.
They mention her in 69.
They meet young Catherine in 1969.
Yeah.
Because Daniel and Sam go visit her to find where the gate is stored.
That's true, yeah.
But it's not that actress. It's a different actress.
Yeah, that's probably what Google's come up with that for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to search every Catherine Langford Stargate appearance.
To be honest, I searched for Catherine. Google comes up with Catherine Langford, which is the right name of the character. But did she have a different name in that episode? Different than the second name?
Katrina. I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Yeah, did Catherine ever get married? And but her husband was...
Oh.
Because she ends up with the fiance that got stranded. They end up together, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like we need to do a Catherine marathon.
Yeah.
We got to do Infinity first. Infinity first. Chat has spoken.
Yes.
Yep.
In chat, we shall abide. We shall abide.
In chat, we trust.
In chat, we trust you.
To a certain point.
Well, all that being said, we have our next couple of thoughts and episodes of Stargate Outpost planned out. We do have the Radical Wasteland podcast again on Friday. We do have some more Sci-Fi Sundays for you this coming Sunday. We're going to figure out when Farscapetrion comes back, and we will keep you all posted. Really. And what?
On the 8th. That's what we've been saying.
Oh, yes, on the 8th. So we have, I guess, 5 more days for that one. Yeah. And we will see y'all soon. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to say before we hop out of here?
No. I always enjoy our little discussions of stuff.
Apart from
I don't have.
At some point, we're going to do a thing for Alien Earth, which was today's episode, last night's episode, and next week's episode. So we're going to do a live, aren't we? So
yeah,
for that.
So come.
That could be on both SciTrek and Quest.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be putting up a video too on my channel.
I was going to say I don't have it set out. So, of course, go check out Stormy's new channel. But while we're at it, and while you see these lovely people in front of you, check out Sarah's new channel, Sarah_6226. And then, while you're typing in all these channel names, I'm sure you're already there. But if you haven't subscribed to Quest RRC yet, go Quest RRC. Used to be known as Sci-Fi Quest, but it's Quest RRC now, which is easier to find on YouTube, honestly. The search bar makes that even easier. So.
And it unlocks the box being trapped on doing sci-fi only.
Yes, that's true. That is very true. Well, thank y'all. Two of y'all. Thank y'all, chat.
Right.
Later.
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We will see everybody on Friday. And y'all have a wonderful, wacky, zany, crazy, kooky, Catherine-filled, Stargate-filled week. See y'all.